What is up, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mr. GG92. Today we are going to find out who would win between two of the most iconic horror movie monsters, Jason Voorhees and Pennywise the Dancing Clown. And before we analyze, I just want to say we are going to include certain movies and other stuff. If we just try to, include the strongest versions, then the entire video is just going to be Pennywise versus Raiden from Mortal Kombat. For Jason, we are only going to include Friday the 13th, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, Part 5, Part 6, Part 7, Part 8, fuck X and fuck Twitter, and we might include the Jason vs. Freddy. Like, we're not going to include the other studio movies, we're not going to also include the comics. One, they're not exactly canon if I'll be honest, and two, not many people have read it.
Wait, are there comics made of Jason? Is that what it just showed? I didn't know that.
For Pennywise, we are only going to include Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. No novels, and we're not going to include that Indian film. Jason Voorhees. Height about 1.82 meters tall, and some depictions usually 1.85 meters tall. In terms of weight, there's no official weight, probably more than 110 kilograms, just approximating. I'm just adding random ass number, don't question it. He was born in 1947, June 13th. And one of the most important feats is that he actually survived a house explosion in Part 7, The New Blood. In order to measure that, we can actually measure this explosion by using door is equal as that size of door. And Tina's actor is a Lard Park, which is, at the time she was 1.66 meters tall, making the entire door about 2.14 meters to 1 meter. Through that, we can actually use the house's area and the length. And the area, in order to find area, we have to find the visible area, which is about 5.6 meters. Since the angle or the view from is about 45 degrees, we can estimate to say, let's just say 7.92 meters. We could add the extra 2 meter explosion radius, but it depends on whether you want to use it or not. Personally, I think I will use it. So let's just say 91 meters square blast radius. And obviously this house has 2 floors, which we would just times this by 2, which is 162 meters per square. And engineers only counts floor masses, and the floor masses also counts the walls and other stuff into it. It's about 411 kilograms meters square, and times with that is about our previous 162 meters square, make 66,582, which is the entire the weight of the house. And average house flying is about 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilograms. Let's just choose in between about 1,500, making the entire explosion around 99 million, about almost as 100 million joules of energy. To compare to that, average person's punch can reach 80 to 100 joules of energy. Some athletic people can reach 200 to 300 joules of energy. And one of the most heavy hitters like Shane Carwin, Mike Tyson, Francis Ngannou can reach 1,560 to 1,900 joules of energy. And some guns can even reach to 3,800. Although I will say Jason can take a little bit more powerful explosion than that. However, Jason is not immortal, and I just want to educate you all, Friday the 13th, the movie continuity, that Jason is not immortal in all the movies. In Part 1 to Part 4, he's definitely not immortal because he's a human, and obviously he died at the 4th movie. And in the Part 5, he's still dead, it's just someone who is cosplaying as him. And obviously Part 6, he got resurrected by a lightning like a Frankenstein. And he doesn't die in Part 6 or Part 7 or any of it. He died at Part 8 by melting down. And Jason goes to hell. This is a totally different Jason, by the way. And he fucking dies. And he does get resurrected. And do you know how he get resurrected? Freddy Krueger pulled him out of the hell, by the way. And that's why they fight in the next movie. Although Jason does, achieve the victory and he doesn't die in the movie. In Jason Twitter, he fucking dies. So in the conclusion, Jason is not immortal, he's just hard to die, at least in the movies. Compared to the Pennywise's durability is a bit more complicated due to the fear factor. Right now we can actually talk about his best showcase, and it's in the chapter 2 in his backstory, where he actually he was the meteor itself and took the impact. To estimate that, we have to know the size, speed, and mass, also other stuff. So first of all, the size is about 3 meters cubic in almost consistently, it seems like. And this meteor is, I feel like the closest thing this meteor is made out of is an iron meteorite. And the iron meteor density is about 7,800 kilograms meter cube, making the entire meteor about 210 tons. In terms of speed, we can actually use this tree's height, and usually these trees are roughly around 30 meters to possibly even 50 meters, or even rare moments like 60 meters, but for now let's just say 45 meters, and the meteor is about 3 to 4 times of its height. And the traveling speed was around 1 second and 40 milliseconds, making the entire speed about 165.5 meters per second. With that out of the way, and the entire explosion energy is about 1 billion joules of energy to possibly even 3 billion joules of energy. And the meteor didn't just end there, it also continued to fall into obsidian, making a crown-shaped thingy. And the sharp glasses are about 40 meters in terms of length, with being 30 degrees angled. And obsidian glass itself can weigh 2,500 kilograms meter cubic. With that, we can actually find this the entire area with a volume of a cone formula and a little bit of a tangus. Which final conclusion would being 31 joules of energy, which isn't adding that much, but still better than nothing. And also, this is Pennywise's true form, and he probably got stronger after achieving a flesh body. And in the conclusion, in terms of durability aspect, Pennywise is clear higher. However, that's only durability, and we have other aspects. When it comes to attack, Jason has kinda consistent attack potency. He can easily destroy cabin wood walls. He can throw Freddy about 4 meters away in 1 or 2 seconds. All of these feats comes down to even at lowest 500 joules, 1,700 joules of energy. And obviously Jason's attack can go probably higher with his machete or other weapons, but I don't think it can amplify that significantly, probably 1.5 to 2 times maybe. Which making his at bare minimally 1,000 joules of energy to at highest balling being 6,000 joules of energy attack. And I kid you not, I remember when in one of the videos where Jason Voorhees knocking this wooden door down, and people were saying this is 500,000 joules of energy, which surprised the fuck out of me. Which I don't think that can really reach. I don't know how that reached 500 joules of it, thousands of joules of energy. So yeah, if that is if breaking that door is 500,000 joules of energy, wait till you hear about Pennywise's attack potency. Pennywise was able to knock down a gazebo with the statue of Paul Bunyan. That's I think how that's pronounced. Honestly, destroying this is at bare minimally is 50,000 joules of energy, but if breaking that door is 500,000 joules of energy, this would be at least 20 million joules of energy if we talk about like that. And Pennywise's attack doesn't end there, because he was also able to make a crust on the dirt, which also kinda similarly. And obviously Pennywise's final spider form should be stronger than this controlling a statue, which his attacks can get much higher, probably can even reach to 200,000 joules of energy. Jason Voorhees, aside from his teleportation, he is pretty slow. His walking is slower than average person's walking. His attack and hack and slash is quite slow, and some people can evade or dodge or even run away from it. And sometimes it does land, but most of the attacks lands usually are surprise attack. And even if some people reacted, it's not really that fast. Obviously there's some processing time there, so it's not exactly that impressive. He is kind of comparable to even an average human, to even possibly even slower. However, his teleportation is kind of boosting him up, but not that effective. It's more like Enderman from Minecraft. The teleportation system is that useful. He can't really use it like Dragon Ball Z characters. Pennywise, on the other hand, with his spider form, bird, and wolf form, was easily catch up with even much faster than an average human can ever run. And he was to easily kill indigenous people before they could even react or process. And obviously these people have better reacting and processing time than these average people has. And other abilities, not just from teleporting he can also multiply clone himself. Somewhat effectively slow down time, he doesn't make himself faster, but certain amount of plays slower, just like one character from Code Geass. Pennywise is arguably quite faster by certain degrees. This will heavily affect on Pennywise because this is the same guy who can take a building destruction, but also get beaten by kids. This is the same guy who can knock down a gazebo and can crack a cave and can't even beat a kid. So it's really hands down to whether Jason Voorhees has So it's really whether Jason has a fear and Pennywise can utilize that. And the closest thing we've seen to the fear is actually Freddy vs. Jason, where we actually see him. He's not afraid of water. He's actually afraid of being drowned and sinked in. which we multiple times have seen, and that's how he usually gets beaten by multiple times. Even though he sometimes can escape, he does show to be fear of it. We also see another side of his fear, and that's his mother's approval. We've seen that he's actually has a motivation for his mother's death and inner voice. At some point, he actually does afraid of being like mother's approval, which is something that Pennywise can easily utilize on. All the aspects we've seen with the strength, durability, speed, and fear factor, Pennywise is going to be the outwinner here. However, instead of zombie Jason, what if we compare him with Uber Jason? Yeah, Uber Jason, when 1, he has much better feats, 2, he doesn't have any single fear. He was programmed to be fearless. And if you compare the strongest version of Jason, probably the Mortal Kombat version of him, versus the novel Pennywise, we all know novel Pennywise will destroy that guy.